Hello, family and friends. Come by and sit and chat and talk along. Well, I got up this morning. I thank the Lord for another night and another day, and I have blessed Him for another day. And then today, my daughter, she wanted to go to Walmart, so we went to Walmart. She was looking for this one certain mop that she wanted, and then we rode around through some neighborhoods. Oh, they had such nice, beautiful homes. It was so nice. They had beautiful lawns. And I was telling her, I said, those lawns are so beautiful. They had to be from a landscaper plan. They were just so neat. Then she came back and started laundry. Then in a little bit, I went outside. I sat on the deck, and she was using these pearls or whatever you put in like your laundry, and it let out such a beautiful smell, like in the air. It was like so neat smelling and so fresh. And then I thought, well, when I was growing up, we had those ringer type washers. If you didn't have one of those, you had like scrub boards. You had lines that you had to hang them out, to put them on. Mom would always say, well, the wind will soften them, and the sun will put the vitamins in it. And that's what we done. Growing up, things is just so much different then than they are now. And they got these nice cooler homes, central air conditions. When I was growing up, they had none of that. You raised your windows, and I can remember it. Some of the hot summer nights, me and my older sister, we would make these paper fans, and we would fan ourselves to sleep. It would be so hot. And they got TVs now, computers, just anything that you would want. And our first TV was when I was a freshman in high school. I worked through school, and I got us a little TV. It wasn't very big at all. And then you had to have this wall that run, and it went up like to the top of your hill. And then like if it come a heavy rain or a windstorm, it would break the line. Then you would have to go around and piece it back together. And I also thought about that this evening. And snakes are bad down there. But at the time, I didn't even think I would go around it and just have flaps on. And I didn't think any more about it. But now, I wouldn't do something like that. And everything is just so much different. And then you have this, don't have to worry about getting coal, wood, and nothing like that. We had grades, where like a grade in each one of the rooms. And in the cold days, the front would be warm and your back would be cold. We would get our coats and sit in the house with them on, but that was just the way it was. And then as I was becoming a teenager, my stepbrother, he bought us a little stove, and he'd heated up that house, every room, so hot. It got just so hot in there. I guess maybe just where we wasn't used to it or what, but it sure did make a big difference. And things now are just so much advanced than they, were back then. And I looked at my son-in-law's fire pit. Then when I was growing up, we didn't have like no fire pits, but we had about what people call like gnats and mosquitoes around. And Mom would save like old clothes, and they called them gnat smokes. You don't let them burn big. You keep a stick or something handy. If the flame starts getting a little bit big, you take a piece of that cloth and you cover it over. That's the only thing you really want is the smoke. And I'm sure a lot of people from in the country, they probably know what I'm talking about. And when they was a lot younger, then, and then, and people's got all the stuff inside now, pressure cookers, all of that to do their canning with. And people back then, they were canning big tubs outside, with cold wood, just canned like it would be like no tomorrow. And they saved so much of the stuff, and they raised what they just about ate. And that makes a big difference when you're able to do something like that. And then when you also have, like chickens, hogs, cows, to also like help along. And it makes a big difference when you go to the grocery store. Because really now, when you go to the grocery store, you really can't see like where your money goes. It just everything is just so high. And really to me, it seems like it's getting more higher than ever. And over where we lived, when we grew up, we had those cinnamon trees, beech trees, mulberry trees. Now you might could buy them, but I'm sure somewhere in the country around that, they would still have those, but nowhere else around have I saw them. And they was nice. Us kids, we would get out and pull them off the trees, and we scrape that birch and just have a good old time with stuff like that, because really it wasn't a whole lot out there that you could do. But now the kids, they got these video games, and just about anything you would want to do, they have. But when we was growing up, we had like checkers, Bobby Jacks. We had checkers and Bobby Jacks. And there was something else like we played. Oh, wood cards, that's what it was. We had a deck of wood cards, and we played them things till they were so thin, just so thin. But, kids just that time, they wouldn't do something like that. They would laugh at the idea. But that's the good old days. But, things could be a lot worse than what they are now. You never know from one year to another one. But I'm telling you, if anybody can put back and can and save, you never know, because you can need that for that rainy day. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is for trying to raise as much as you can and put as much as you can away. and try to do everything, like that you can try to save to get ahead. Well, family and friends, how was your stay today? We were supposed to got some rain, but I think we got a few sprinkles, like here and there, unless now we don't get the rain, like tonight. But so far we haven't got any heavy rain. It would be needed, for the plants. It would help them a whole lot. I think the rainwater does better for the gardens than just regular, like watering them.
Hey, Mommy, tell them about the story of Susie.
Oh yeah, and we had this, she was a little white pig. And my daughter, she named her Susie. And we would miss her. And we would miss her. And she'd been a lot with her. My laying with her.
And I get in trouble because I wasn't supposed to be up there with Susie because Susie got like 500 pounds and I wasn't supposed to get into her pen. But I would sneak out of either the front door or the side door and go up there and be with her, and Brad would tell on me every time.
And we had this, we wasn't allowed, really wasn't supposed to have chickens on hand where we lived. And we had this rooster and this one hen. And this rooster we had, he was a game rooster, if you know what I'm talking about. And the TV would be on, and he would jump up in the windowsill like he was watching TV. It didn't matter if it was raining or snowing or whatever. He would make sure he got in that windowsill. Okay, if anybody went to bed, turn the TV on in the kitchen or the bedroom, he would follow ever what room that was to watch TV. And then we had this hawk. He killed the chicken later on, and then later on then he got the rooster. And then we never bothered with any more. But at 3 or 4 o'clock, the rooster would crow. During the days they would crow. We thought people would probably complain, but they didn't. They said they liked to hear him crow, that he was their alarm clock at morning. And he was so beautiful. He was, like different colors. He was a real pretty rooster. And the hen, I forgot the brand that she was, but she laid a little bitty blue eggs, light blue eggs. I never seen any like that before. But it was nice, like to have them around. And then one time we had some, I think we got the grandboys some ducks for Easter one year, and we kept them for a long while, and then the hawks started coming back around. So we had to find them a good home in order to try to save their life. But it is, when you're directly right in the city, you can't have as much stuff like that as you can in the country, because a lot of things like that is prohibited in the city limits. But
Remember in the country and Daddy got me the horse Red?
yeah, and her dad, but my husband, well, they already had this pony that was called, they called it Red all the time, and he already had it. And she would ride on Red, and she loved it dearly. It was not big, little pony. It was like small, but it really could like plow. It really could work good. And then when we moved to the city, we had his uncle to take care of Red, and we bought the food and everything like that for him that it needed. But then eventually he passed. But nothing, is meant to live forever. I guess there's a day and time for everything. Well, family and friends, I'm gonna let you go. Then I'll talk with you again tomorrow sometime. And may God bless each and every one. And just have a great night. And bye-bye.